What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Dose. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, and we had a really interesting day, actually, in the stock markets. It was really volatile. We did finish down on all of the indexes. The S&P was down 0.66%, the Dow was down 1.22%, and the NASDAQ was down 0.16%. We did see, actually, kind of a rebound in like the hypergrowth sector, kind of like the ARK stocks. But really what took the headlines today was Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan. Really increased the tensions that we're facing with China. China said that they would potentially get violent if she went, and she went anyways, but nothing happened, thankfully, today. China did amass a lot of ships and planes near Taiwan, as did the United States. So that's just kind of an interesting geopolitical thing going on. International stocks really suffered, especially Asian indices. But one interesting thing that I want to point out was the economic data around the labor market that came around today. And as the United States has been insisting that we're not in a recession, even though that we check the box of what the definition of a recession is, the labor market is showing a slowdown, which is what would be consistent with a recession. So I don't really know how the White House is going to try and spin that. Maybe they'll just try and say that that can happen in a non-recessionary environment too. I don't know. Who knows? But that was also really interesting. I'm sure they're going to try and find a way to spin that with the midterms coming up. But yeah, you can't really get around it. We are in a recession right now. We are seeing job slowdowns. We saw job offers slow down. Unemployment is starting to creep up. So there's just really no way around it. We're in a recession right now. And you got to be careful. It could be more prolonged than what people are expecting because of what the White House has been saying. The rest of this goes into some earnings with Uber and stuff that I don't really want to focus on too much. I just wanted to mention that because it was relevant to what happened today. The S&P 500, we opened lower. Had some losses early in the morning, and then through the early afternoon we rallied. Looked like it was going to be another green day, and then we sold off pretty heavily for the rest of the day and went bearish. So the S&P 500 still over 4,000, just shy of 4,100, and it's really hard to tell if a lot of people are calling for the S&P 500 to go up through the end of the year. I've seen both sides of that. I've seen people calling for the S&P 500 in the 3,000s and near 3,500 even as a potential bottom happening. But my viewpoint is that we're in a recession and the Fed is not pivoting. I also wanted to mention that, actually. Good thing I remembered. So there's been rumors about the Fed pivoting because of all these recessionary indicators that we've been getting, but the Fed said that they're not even close to being done fighting inflation. So that reinforces the idea that we're still going to be in a heavy quantitative tightening environment, and that they're not going to pivot anytime soon, which kind of makes a case for stocks to continue to head lower, or at least not go higher to where they were in a QE environment. So let's check out Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's still struggling to get to this 28,000 level. It's kind of like stuck in this interesting little dilemma of it broke through this trend line and it broke above this resistance. So it has that strength, but also its correlation with the NASDAQ, I feel like, is holding it down. So the NASDAQ was down today. Bitcoin is about flat. It's around 23,000. But it could be worse. If it hadn't broken out of this range and we saw a really bad bearish move on the NASDAQ, then it could put a lot of pressure on the support. But now it at least has two lines of support and ranges that buyers should come in if that were to happen. But just the fact that Bitcoin's making a base here is a good sign. I know it made a base over here and made a base over here and still fell, but a lot of people are expecting this decline to continue with this trend, and it hasn't so far, so that's good. But I'm going to wrap it there. I like to keep these videos a little bit shorter. Just to wrap again, the market's finished lower. We saw the Fed say that they're not going to pivot just yet, that they want to continue to fight inflation aggressively, and that another 75 basis point rate hike is possible. And obviously, Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan is increasing a lot of tensions with China. And that's where I'll leave it for today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. And thank you.